Remember when we talked about the presumed creative outputs of ChatGPT against Bard's more accurate responses? As I explained in our course on SEO for Search Generative Experience, the types of outputs are in fact flexible and controlled by developers via a suite of parameters. The good news is that Google provides out-of-the-box parameters allowing you to customize your model's level of accuracy, creativity, number of responses, and more. You may not realize it, but basically you have state-of-art machine learning and parameter tuning that was previously available only to experienced developers. And all you need to do is play with some bars. Test, play again, test again, and so on, until you receive the type of output you require. No expensive developers, no time spent on coding and launching your app. This really is innovation at its best. So, what parameters do we have available? Firstly, the most often used is called temperature. It controls the degree of randomness in token selection. In simple terms, the lower the temperature, the more accurate the responses are. Think Bard. The higher the temperature, the higher the randomness of outputs and the higher the creativity. Think ChatGPT. Of course, you need to understand the trade-offs. The more accurate the responses, the lower the creativity and interesting outputs, and vice versa. The higher the creativity, the higher the potential of irrelevant outputs. Now, the second parameter you can optimize is called token limit. We discussed the misconception of predicting next word versus predicting next token in our course on SEO for Search Generative Experience. Hence, we will not discuss what tokens are. But to keep it simple, the token limit parameter enables you to choose the length of output generated by the model. For example, you may develop a generative AI application and limit the output size to maximum 100 words. Or vice versa, the nature of your application may need to generate a much longer, more detailed output. Another reason why you may want to limit the number of tokens in the output could be controlling cost. Because you are being charged per token, you may initially want to control your budget and increase it as your app grows, for example. The next parameter you can control is called top K. Once again, this one has a direct impact on the degree of accuracy or creativity you are looking to achieve. Think about it this way. The model predicts what comes after, token by token, based on the highest probabilities as learned from the dataset. Now, the top K parameter instructs the model on how many results to consider at each step of generating a new token. Basically, should your model look for an answer within the first 40 more likely results? Or should it look only at the top 3 most likely results? Obviously, a top 3 setting would result in more accurate outputs. By contrast, a top 40 setting will result in more creative random results. The next parameter we will talk about is top P. This is similar to the top K parameter with one distinction. Its value is cumulative. Think about it this way. If you set your top P parameter to 0.5 or 50%, you are telling the model this. Choose the next token from the most likely results based on probabilities that, when added together, will not go over the value of 0.5. This can be hard to grasp, so let's look at an example. Assume the model tries to predict the next token, and the top 3 most likely results, based on their probabilities, are 30% or 0.3, 20%, and 10%. The first 2 results, when added together, gives you a cumulative total of 50% or 0.5, in line with the top P parameter you've just set. As a result, the model will only consider the top 2 results. In this case, the results with probabilities 30% and 20% in predicting the next token. If you get confused, just keep this in mind. The top K and top P parameters are in fact changed via the temperature parameter, which means that for the most times, optimizing the temperature parameter would be more than sufficient to get you to the type of output you require. Just don't overcomplicate things if you don't need to. Finally, the last parameter you can optimize is max responses. This basically limits the number of responses you would like your model to generate per prompt. One situation where this is helpful is once again controlling cost. For example, you may charge your clients or users a fixed cost monthly subscription. However, as mentioned, your cost is variable, as Google charges you per token. The more tokens you use, the higher the price. Hence, by limiting the number of responses, you limit the number of tokens and implicitly your costs. Okay, this was a long one. Let's stop here and I will see you in the next session. Thank you for watching.